going on, Paladins? Back with another video. I think it's been almost a month since I uploaded last. Sorry. Everything's been okay. It's been kind of busy. Life has been a bit busy lately. I actually traveled to, I don't know if you guys know this, but I was born in England, so I'm British. I know you can't tell from my accent anymore, but I am British. And so anyway, I still have a lot of family over there. My mother's over there, my sister, aunts, uncles, cousins, my niece and nephew. So anyway, I went to England. Me and my girlfriend actually went to see some family. And then we also went to Romania afterwards. So anyway, that's why I've been kind of MIA lately. Everything's been fine, just been busy with just life, I suppose. So anyway, wanted to hop on here and just record another video. It's also been kind of hard to just record. Some of the easiest times to record, I feel like, when I'm in the car, when I'm driving. So I just haven't. I also, my job, so I used to work hybrid schedule at my job, but now I'm in the office. Now I'm fully remote, so I also haven't been driving a whole bunch. So I've been meaning to just record a video just in the car, because I kind of like doing these. I kind of like doing these videos where it's just me driving and just kind of just spitballing. And I kind of said in my last one that I did that I wanted to do more of these. And so anyway, all that to say, I just haven't had an opportunity as well. Just I haven't been driving as much. So anyway, long story short, life's been busy, but we back at it. Want to get back consistent again. Hope Paladins, hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are staying strong, staying motivated, staying stoic, staying confident, because as life throws us its inevitable challenges, which it will, I hope you guys are just you guys are doing good. So wanted to hop on here and just kind of just talk about some things that were on my mind. And I guess I'll just start there. It's really important to travel, guys. I've been really blessed in my life. Being from the UK, I was exposed to traveling at a really early age by my parents. And, when I look back on it, I'm really thankful for that, because, traveling isn't a big deal to me in a lot of ways, because I've done it since I was a kid. So it didn't seem like, crazy to say, oh, I want to travel to, Europe, or I want to travel to Africa, or I want to travel to Asia. It didn't seem crazy to go to different continents just because I did it from a young age. But I'd really encourage you guys, try to make time to travel. It's really not that expensive. Especially, another tip I would probably say is, like, when we did Romania, and Romania is not, very expensive, just because tourism hasn't like really boomed there yet. So you're not paying for like the tourist tax on everything. Like, we were in Brasov, and then we went to Bucharest. So, a dinner for two people, like at a sit-down restaurant, I mean, we were probably paying the equivalent of like $30 US, which is crazy, right? Those same restaurants in the US would probably have been like almost $100. So yeah, I mean, it's really not that expensive, depending on where you go. So try to find countries that, aren't known for tourism yet, and you'll save a lot of money. That's something that I learned on this past trip. So, like, if you're looking in, if you're looking in Europe, for instance, Romania is a great place that you're not going to spend a lot of money. I think Eastern Europe in general, you're probably not going to, spend a ton of money traveling there. So yeah, I would just encourage you guys, really try to travel, man. It's good to see how other people live. Every time I go to a new place, I'm always, that's kind of my big takeaway normally, is like, even though we live in different parts of the world, human beings, we all want the same things in a lot of ways. We're all very similar. We just, we may live in a different country or speak a different language, but there's a lot of similarities between it. So yeah, really make sure you guys travel, man. Try to really, see more of the world. Try to get out of your comfort zone. That's the other thing I love about traveling, is like, It forces you to be uncomfortable. It forces you to, because traveling can be stressful. Traveling, you're gonna see, it forces you to, like I said, force you to be uncomfortable, force you out of your comfort zone, especially when it comes to things like you travel to a country where you don't speak the language. So it's just good, I think, especially for men, to experience different things. So I would definitely encourage you guys, man, travel. Also, if you're dating anyone, I would encourage you guys to travel with them, because one of the best ways I feel you get to know somebody is when you travel with them. Because when you travel with someone, you see them. When you travel with someone, you're gonna see them when they're stressed out. You're gonna see them when they're hungry. You're gonna see how they adapt to new environments, how they adapt to unfamiliar environments. So that's another thing I would just encourage you guys. If you're dating, you guys book a trip with her. Go. It ain't even, honestly, and that doesn't even have to be international. That could be domestic, honestly. But just travel somewhere. Since I've been with my girlfriend, we've traveled a lot together, and it's been really good. I feel like we've gotten to know each other. That's some of the best times that we've gotten to really, learn about each other and know each other is when we travel. So I would just really encourage you guys to do that. Another thing I was gonna touch on was just, hey, guys, and I guess that's kind of the main point of this video, is that, look, in life, not everybody's gonna like you. And I think you have to be okay with that. I think sometimes in life, a lot of us, myself included, I've been guilty of this, we go around and we want people to like us too much. Sorry guys, I'm in a traffic jam right now. Okay, let me get out of this. I think a lot of us, we go through life and we want people to like us, and there's nothing wrong with being liked. I think, that's something obviously we should aspire. Like, you want to be a likable person, because obviously you can't really get anywhere in life if people don't like you to a certain degree, like at work. I mean, so you want to be a good person. I'm not saying that, but I think in that you still have to accept the fact that, look, not everybody's gonna like you. And what really made me think about this was, I remember being a kid, and I remember, like, back in the day, I don't know if it's still like this now, but like, let's say you were in, like elementary school, and let's say you want to have a birthday party, right? And let's say you want to, invite people in your class, but let's say you don't want to invite everybody in your class. And I remember as a kid, and again, I don't know if it's still like this now, but as a kid, if you wanted to pass out the invitations in class, you had to invite everybody. Does that make sense? So, like, let's say I'm only cool with maybe, let's say there's 30 kids in the class, and I'm only cool with half of them. If I want to give out invitations in school, in my class, I have to invite everybody. If not, I have to do it outside of class. And the reason why they did that was because, those other kids that aren't invited to my birthday, they don't want to hurt your feelings, right? So they say, okay, look, if you're going to pass out invitations in class, you got to invite everybody. If you're not going to invite everybody, you got to figure it out and do it outside of school. And to a certain degree, I get it. I get it. I understand, like, wanting to spare kids' feelings, and, maybe, you don't want to, again, hurt people's feelings, and you want everyone to feel included, and I get all that. But I think looking back as an adult, I think it stunts kids, their development, because look, the reality is, in life, everybody's not going to like you, and that's just part of life. Like, everybody's not going to be your friend, everybody's not going to like you. And I think the earlier that kids, I guess, understand that or learn that fact, I think the better off you'll be. And I think sometimes we as adults, that sort of early childhood training that we got, that, like, look, everybody has to be your friend, everybody has to be friends. I feel like we take that on into our adulthood. And I'm just here to tell you guys, like, it's okay if everybody's not your friend. Everybody's not going to be your friend, and that's okay. Sometimes people are just acquaintances, and that's okay. Even at work, like, I made a video about this, that, like, people at work aren't your friends, but I mean, even in general, like sometimes people come into your life for a season. I know you guys have heard this before. Sometimes people come into your life for a season, and when it's over, and that's okay. It doesn't, no hard feelings. I would just encourage you guys, like, don't expect everybody to be your friend, and don't expect to be liked by everybody. There's just going to be some people in this life that you don't vibe with, and that is perfectly okay. I've experienced that in my own life, where there's just some people that just don't vibe with me, or I don't vibe with them, and that's okay. But I don't know, like I don't have kids yet, but I feel like that's something I'm gonna try to instill in my kids from an early age, is like, look, everybody's not gonna like you, everybody's not gonna be your friend, and that's okay. It doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. That's just part of life, is you're not always gonna be friends with everybody. So yeah, I don't know, just a thought that kind of came to me a couple days ago, that I just wanted to really just get on here and record, but also I think just get back into the swing of recording as well. I know I've been gone for a little bit, so really appreciate you guys being patient with me, and I got a lot of like messages about where I was, so really appreciate the people that reached out. But no, everything's good. I'm just been traveling a lot, so but yeah, I hope I hope everything's going good with you guys. I know life is hard, and I know we face a lot of challenges. That's another video I want to do, but I guess I can kind of talk about it too. Like, look guys, life is hard, man, and I feel like that is part of why I started this channel, is just to kind of give people somewhere that they could get content that is saying stuff like that. Because look, I think so much of what we see in today's society is what we think a winner looks like, and it's people that are doing well, and we're seeing their Instagram highlights, but the reality is the rest of life, when the highlights go away, the rest of life, the day in day out grind of life, it's not always glamorous. And I get that. I get what a lot of you guys are probably going through, the challenges. I'm going through them too, whether it's financially, whether it's spiritually, whatever, whether it's relationships, I get it. So look guys, life is hard, but that's the other thing too, is life was, no one ever said life was going to be easy. The Lord never said that life was going to be easy. Even when you put your faith in the Lord, like, nowhere in the Bible does it say you'll have an easy life. So I just want to again give you guys some encouragement. That's why I'm doing this, just to kind of let you guys know, like, look, we're all going through it. We all do. Stay strong, try to stay positive, and just keep fighting the good fight. Keep fighting the good fight. So but I want to do I think a bigger video on the whole idea of life is hard, and not kind of I think for me, I've just accepted that life is hard, and I think that helps me when I go through the tough times. And it's not all tough times. Like, there's a lot of beautiful things about life, and a lot of good moments of life, right? But I think for me, like, I've tried to just accept that life is ups and it's downs, it's highs and it's lows. And so when the highs come, I try to enjoy it. When the good seasons come, try to enjoy it and be thankful for it. But not too high, because I understand that a low is coming. And when the lows come, I try not to dwell on it too much. And I try to just say, okay, this is a low season. This is a low time right now, but this too shall pass. And so, yeah, but I think I want to do a sort of like a longer video on that, or a video that's, dedicated strictly to that idea. I think that's something I'm going to do. So yeah, I got a lot of ideas though for the channel. But yeah, I don't want to ramble on too much. Like I said, hope all is well. And yeah, I'll have some more content coming you guys' way in the near future. I got a lot of ideas for other videos too that I want to do, just more so aimed at younger guys that are maybe you know, kind of trying to figure out the next season of life, because I was there at one point too. Sometimes I feel like I'm still there, if I'm being honest, but I was there at one point. So I just want to pass on some of the nuggets that I've acquired through my journey on this earth. So that's kind of where my mind is. So yeah, this is kind of a check-in video, I think. Just kind of checking in with you guys, giving you guys an update on where I've been, and yeah, we're gonna get back into it. Yeah, I got a lot of ideas that I want to do. So anyway, I'm gonna wrap up here, but Paladins, stay strong, stay stoic, stay in the word, and I'll see you guys next time. All right.